From KPRC2, this is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
Now, for the past 27 years, it's taken place here in Houston, a celebration of reading to call attention to the importance of reading and to raise money for the many important programs in place by the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation, a who's who of political figures and authors who've been a part of this program through the years, and this year is no different. Joining me this morning to talk about this year's big event, Dr. Julie Baker-Fink, president of the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation, and via Zoom, Dr. Rick Risby, one of the authors this year, with a very inspiring book that we'll talk about in just a bit. Good morning to both of you. Good to see you. And Dr. Risby will talk to you in just a second. So, Julie, good to see you. It's great to be in person once again, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I appreciated that big welcome hug to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Felt good. Thank you.
Hey, let's talk about the foundation. People know that it's been around for a while. They may not be so aware of the many things that are going on within your foundation that you're doing to progress the cause of reading.
A few things that we did last year. In fact, we hit some milestones last year. In December, we gave out our 100,000th home library to a child here in Houston. We know that books are a luxury that many children can't afford, and empowering them with the tools necessary to become strong, confident, competent, and book lovers is one of our most important challenges and opportunities here. We also will be hitting the streets, our fourth Curiosity Cruiser mobile library through our Ladies for Literacy Guild this summer, and a gift from Oxy Petroleum here in Houston. But last year at Cambrell, we partnered with the Mayor's Office for Adult Literacy to commission a study on adult literacy here in Houston, and we came up with our blueprint here. And so Houston's adult literacy blueprint has been a key focus in the last year, really looking at all of the adults here and the issues facing them.
Can you get that online? Where can you get that?
Absolutely. You can download. There's a short version and the long version, but it has great information about the compelling reasons why we need to make literacy for adults a key priority in our city.
And I like the way the celebration of reading always brings that to the fore. How big of a deal is that for you, for your budget? By the way, we're not doing this to get you to buy tickets because it's a sellout.
It's sold out.
So, but it's about what this celebration of reading does for your budget and helps you get through the next year.
Each year we raise about $1.8 million to $2.2 million. We typically have been in the Hobby Center, which of course is a much larger venue. And so this year, because of the pandemic, we've had to downsize. We're going to be at the Post Oak Hotel. But thanks to our partnership at KPRC2, more people will be able to experience a celebration of reading at their home. But this is our key budget, our key fundraiser for our event.
So let's talk about some of the authors this year. And very interesting because Mrs. Bush's grandchildren are part of the lineup this year.
We love keeping it in the family when we have Bush DNA there, and so Jenna Bush Hager and Barbara Pierce Bush will be joining us. They're releasing their new children's book next week, just 2 days prior to our event, so they're going to be kicking off their book tour here in Houston.
And you have, this is an interesting book from her too, right?
Alifair Burke is a mystery crime writer. She actually has written the Under Suspicion series with Mary Higgins Clark. So she has about a dozen of her own standalone novels, and Find Me is her most recent one that came out just in January.
And it seems like you got a thriller theme going on this year.
Yes. So Brad Meltzer is a #1 New York Times best-selling author. He actually has been a New York Times best-selling author in 5 genres, including children's books and comic books. Of course, nonfiction and his fiction thrillers. And so we're thrilled that lightning will strike here in Houston by him bringing his new book, The Lightning Rod.
Okay, so now we couldn't squeeze them all to get into the studio, but we're able to get you, and we're able to get one via Zoom. So Dr. Risby's here via Zoom. And I think it's very interesting, Dr. Risby, about your book. It has a very catchy name with a deep meaning to it as well. The title of it, we got a cover of it as well, is that it's Lessons from a Third Grade Dropout. A very catchy name with a deep meaning to it. Welcome, Dr. Risby. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Cambrell. It's so great to be with you and Julie this glorious Easter Sunday. My book really stems from the simple lessons from the wisest man I ever met in my life, and it was my dad, a native Texan. He migrates after World War II to Northern California, to San Francisco, falls in love with my mother. They rear their family in the Bay Area. I'm the oldest of the lot. And when you're a kid, you just want your folks to stop talking so much. And then you get a little bit older and you start realizing This wisdom will carry you throughout your life, through the ups and the downs. Simple wisdom like, son, how you do anything is how you do everything. It's never wrong to do the right thing. You'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. Kind deeds are never lost. And so this book wasn't originally a book. I was Coach R.C. Slocum, the legendary football coach at Texas A&M. I was his chaplain and his life skills coach, and he was looking for some character lessons. We started talking about the wisdom I learned from a third grade dropout. That was the genesis for this book today.
So I'm going to talk more with you. We're going to take another segment and talk to you more about that, because I have some things, because I've read the book, most of it anyway, 90% of it. And so we'll talk to you more about that. Dr. Baker-Fink, let's talk about where the reading, the celebration, it's so fantastic for what it does. How do people get involved? What's the best way they can get involved with your organization? Not just for this, if they don't have a ticket right now, it's too late, but to get involved with you for the rest of the year and all year round for the great programs you work on.
We have great volunteer programs. We have programs called Reading Roundup, which invites the community to come into classrooms across Houston Independent School District and Spring Branch ISD to be a classroom reader, to be a reading mentor. We also have a program that's been in place. I'm so proud to say that this is our 6th year of having it in place, called Read Houston Read, and it is an HISD program. So we want more people to step up and step into a child's life by becoming a reading mentor and to be that role model. I mean, Dr. Risby talked about his father being a role model. There are many children who don't have that caring adult reading to them at home every night, and we want to invite the community to come in and be that strong voice. Well,
I've talked with you. We've talked about this every year for as far back as I can remember. And so I'm really a convert to what you're doing. Books and reading could take me in parts of the world that I can never go otherwise. So I really appreciate I'm going to put all the contact information on our website so people can sign up the best way they can to help you out in more ways than you could ever imagine. Hopefully, we'll see anyway. So Dr. Risby is going to stick around. We're going to talk more in detail about your book, this tribute to your father. And as a pastor as well, we know you have that touch as well. We're going to get your perspective on the challenges we're facing in this society right now as we go on this Easter Resurrection Sunday. So thank you for being willing to stick around. Julie, always good to see you.
Thank you. Always good to see you, Marshall.
Well,